Paige. Okay, I'm going to start with some background info. As a child, I was extremely fearful. I was so afraid of everything. Mind you, I do have a very vivid imagination. But I just could not get away from like this weird creepy feeling. When I was 8, I was introduced to some sexual things by another child. I think it started out innocently, like you know how kids are. But in years to come, it would get heavier and heavier and more serious. By 9 or 10, I knew way too much. Also, my parents are both ministers. So throw in the mix a major perfectionism complex. So here I am, little girl Paige, convinced I'm being followed around by some weird darkness. I have crushing shame from these secrets that I now have with these kids. I'm hyper aware of what people expect of me as an ideal daughter to a godly family. Because of all this, and I'm a very sensitive person, pretty much everybody here knows that. Every time I was disciplined, it just felt like ultimate rejection. Like it was deserved because of the kind of child I was. My life had barely started and I had abandoned and rejected myself already. Most of this I told no one. Shame and fear have been the rulers of my life as far back as my memories go. Begging God not to send me to hell every day, I decided in the 4th grade I would never become a Christian. Shame is processed in our brains the same as physical pain. It's true. Ask Brene Brown. She's wonderful. Everybody should Google her. I decided the only way to survive was a life of secrecy and from that manipulation. Be whatever the person in front of me wanted. Then I would be safe because no one would actually know the type of person I was. Disgusting. As life went on, these beliefs were only reinforced and gained increasing power until I completely lost myself and became paralyzed by pain. Alcohol gave me peace and quieted my mind. Just enough for me to finally have the self-acceptance I had never felt before. And that became survival quickly. I needed it. It was an absolute necessity. Being drunk was the only time I felt any love for myself. The consequences became so severe, I was going to die soon. My self-hatred deepened, but the risks were worth taking for me over and over again. For me just to have one more taste of acceptance for myself, no matter how short the tastes were becoming. My heart was so starved for love. Love is essential for life. It is how we are designed. God is love and life, the only true source. This time last year, I was sitting in a jail cell, withdrawing from meth, crack, and heroin. The day before yesterday, and 1 year sober. The Lord is so good. This was my 4th attempt at going to treatment for alcoholism. It was, and still is, do or die. I don't know how many ambulance rides, hospital visits, psych wards, surprisingly only once. But I had no idea how much my hatred and anger had robbed me of until God began his work of redemption in my soul. He brought parts of me back to life that had been dead so long I didn't know they existed. I had completely forgotten. This process was excruciating. And I use that word very intentionally. My last year of addiction was the most painful year of my life. But this year was a very close second. Less, only because the pain here had meaning. The Lord fought for me. Like, seriously. He fought harder than I will ever know to show me how he loves me. He poured love back into my heart, and he used this community to do it. The Lord spoke to me through my family here, you guys, my actual physical family, and in many other ways to express very personally what I'm worth to him. The highest being with all authority and power that has ever existed is in love with me. I know that sounds corny. But he created me with such detail as his precious child because he wanted me specifically. A year is short, and the healing I've received is nothing but a miracle, the work of God himself. Amen.